Week 1 is here. I am actually really excited for this episode. I feel like I did a really good job at like preparing and looking at the lines and spreads. So just give it a chance. I promise you. Leave a 5-star review. It is now on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Turn the notifications on so that you know that when I post, so you can go ahead and pop it in when you're at the gym, when you're in the car on the way home from work, or when you're sleeping and just don't really want to hear it and need background noise. I don't care. And then leave a 5-star review. Say it sucks, whatever you want. And then if you want to do fan mail, that is beatingbookies@gmail.com. So I have a lot of games that I like on this. And normally I say to people that, like, or just in general, I think I said in the first episode that I only wanted to do like 5 or 6 plays for the week. Right now I have, let me flip these pages here. Let's see. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I got 7 right now. We might try to narrow it to 6. I'm not sure. We also have 3 really good props that I love, love, love. And there are a couple games on here that are just, there is one game that has the wackest line I've ever seen in my life. But hey, let's get into it. No BS. Let's just dive right into it. Come on, FanDuel. And just for a reminder, Thursday night I did yesterday, Thursday night game, I do have the Chiefs, Baltimore under 47.5. It is now 46.5, which I would still bet that. But with that being said, time of taping is 3 o'clock on Friday. Titans and Bears. The over-under Titans are plus 4.5 at the Bears. The over-under is 44.5. We're gonna have to grow up here. Everyone, I want to need you to mature. We're gonna have to grow some hair on our nuts. We're gonna have to do what it takes. Now, I can't, for some reason I cannot see the FanDuel bet differentials on the site because the site is low-key being dumb right now. So, but I want to walk you through this. First game, rookie QB. Caleb is, again, he is a rookie. He's never played an NFL game in his life. He is at home. But think about this. You have L'Jarius Sneed out there. You still have Jeffrey Simmons. Now, here's my concern, is that you do lose Mike Vrabel, who was like the whole defensive mind of that team. I think a lot of players liked him. You lose Derrick Henry. But here's the thing. I don't know anything about Caleb. I am not sure about him at all. And with that being said, we're not totally sure on him. But what I do know is Will Levis is, even though he's not that good, the last 6 or 7 games, he was not bad. And he got a couple weapons. I mean, you got Calvin Ridley now. You got you got the other guy. You have Tony Pollard. You have 2 pretty decent defenses. The Bears do have a top 10 defense, which again might cause a problem for Will Levis with that offensive line. And the more I'm talking about this game, the more I'm talking myself out of playing this game because, again, think about it. If I got a good defensive line in the Bears, right, and now you're putting it against a bad offensive line, Will Levis is not as good. You know what? I'm going to stay off this game. I won't stay off this game. Congratulations, Calvin. I just talked myself out of a game. I'm not going to play this game because, you know what? That terrifies me. But if I do have to lean aside, that would be the side because, again, I think the Bears are an extremely public team. And if you know anything about the bookies, is that like they don't just give out free money. They're not a charity. That's not what they do. They're here to win. And so like you look at that line, you're like, oh, Bears minus 4.5. Caleb's gonna be a beast. That defense is good, but they're in business for a reason, right? That's how they keep their money. So we will move on. I will stay away from that. But if I had to play a side, it would be the Titans strictly because Caleb is a rookie, and Will Levis, if he can get any sort of time, might be able to get something going with all those pieces. Steelers at Atlanta. Atlanta is minus 3.5 at home. The over/under is 42.5, and we're gonna play 2 right here. My first question on this entire thing is, how does Pittsburgh score? How? I think Russ is bad. Barely won the job against Justin Fields, who nobody wanted when it came to like trading or something like that. I'm very high in Atlanta. I think the Steelers play defense, but at the same time, I don't think they can score more than. Does anyone here think Pittsburgh is going to score more than 10 points? I don't. Um, and Atlanta's offense is really good. Steelers defense does play good. You got T.J. Watt coming back finally. Hopefully, hopefully it doesn't get hurt. But I think the play here also as well. So I will play Atlanta minus 3.5 because again, could you see a 17-10 game? Could you see a 20-10 game? Absolutely. And that also leads to the under at 42.5. I would be amazed if this game goes over 42.5 because that means the Steelers would have to score over 14 points, and I just don't believe that's happening. And again, even if you have like if Atlanta comes into if Steelers come to Atlanta and just get absolutely annihilated, if it's a 31-10 game, you're still good. And I mean, you have Najee, Jalen Warren's hurt, you have Najee, and unless he is like a Derrick Henry where he kind of revives his career right before his contract, I don't think they're going to be good. I don't think that offense is any good. You have Pickens, but again, you have AJ Terrell, you have a very good Atlanta defense as well as a really good secondary. And just I just don't believe in the Steelers offense that much. So with that being said, we're going under 42.5. And we're gonna move on though to Jags and Dolphins. With the Jags plus 3.5, over under is 49.5. Come on, FanDuel. Here's what we're gonna do. Come. We're gonna make sure these lines are correct because here we go. All right. Let me make sure one more time. Boop, boop, boop. Everything load. Nice and awesome. Over under 49.5. Okay, Dolphins are minus 3.5. Over under is 49.5. And I'm going to be honest with you. I got no clue. I have zero clue about this game. Miami's offense is good. Is Trevor Lawrence going to play like the person he should? I mean, you're keeping Doug Peterson. You have Evan Ingram, which leads me to a prop here. Evan Ingram prop over 5.5 receptions at plus 122. If you have watched any Jaguars games or even the preseason, which again I don't value that much, like this preseason, Jags had like 2 drives and Evan Ingram had 4 targets with 2 touchdowns, or like 4 catches with 2 touchdowns. I think he's gonna have a really good year. And again, last year he averaged 6.7 catches last year per game, and he didn't even break out until the second half of the year. And I mean, think about it, like you lose Calvin Ridley. Christian Kirk, even though he is playing, still has that calf strain. Who knows how much of that is going to affect him? And Evan Ingram's going to be the safety blanket. I mean, and again, if Miami is going to score, if you think Miami's scoring 25, like 24, 27, 30 points, we're going to have Trevor's going to be throwing the ball. You do have ETN, but I honestly think Evan Ingram might be the number 1 receiver on this team by the end of the year. You do have Brian Thomas, but again, he is a rookie. So that's what I would play, and that's what I am going to play. Is we're going to do our like little parlay action. Evan Ingram over 5.5 receptions. I think that is a very easy, not easy, I guess. Yeah, who am I saying like, oh, this is easy money when I'm probably going to go 3 and 4 this week. But I think that's a very interesting one. And we're going to move on to Pats plus 8.5 at the Bengals, which I think is Patriots, obviously, which I think is the worst football team in the entire nation. I think they're worse than high school football teams. Over under is 40.5. I'm not touching this game because I think me, as along with everybody else, I think drunk Steve at the bar is looking at this like, oh, Bengals are a Super Bowl team and New England's trash. I'm gonna bet Cincinnati minus 8.5. And this is where the book takes everyone's money because somehow New England will stay in a game like that, or like these garbage teams. I don't like betting teams over a touchdown. I'm just not a fan of it. With that being said, I mean, there's obviously cases I will, but again, Pats might be the worst team in football. But will they go try hard for like Gerard Mayo? I know he's a new head coach. I know people liked him. But again, man, this offense is made out of nobody, and this defense is garbage. This defense is hot ass. You got Christian Gonzalez, I guess, is a nice corner. For all you Michigan fans, Josh Uche. Ooh. Oh, wait, no, he's on the Ravens. I forget what team he's on. All right, just disregard that. But my only question is Ja'Marr Chase going to play? Now, I know he did participate at practice yesterday. I don't know about today, but I wonder if he's going to play. So that would be my only holdback on this. But again, a Bengals could blow this team up by 30. I would not be surprised by that as well. But I'm just gonna stay away from this. If you made me make a pick, I would go Bengals. But I would stay away from this game because it just looks too easy. You know what I'm saying? Like this is like, oh, Bengals -8.5. Patriots are hot ass. And then you end up losing your money because the Bengals only beat them by 7. Like again, this is not college. This is like beating people by 10 consistently is hard. You know, any team regardless. But again, the Patriots might be that bad. Moving on, we have Texans -2.5 at the Colts. Over under is 48.5. I kind of just want to watch this game. I don't want to bet anything on this game. Again, I don't know what Richardson is. I think that Colts defense is a little below average. You do have Latu, but again, he's a rookie. How much can he contribute to that? It's going to be a stay away. Again, I wish I could see the bet differentials. I feel like people are betting a lot on Texans right now. I don't really know. I don't really know how to feel about this game. You know, is CJ Stroud going to have a slump? Is Richardson going to come up with 4 touchdowns? I kind of need to see what Richardson is before I would actually put my money towards this game. And I'm just going to stay away from it. I'm going to be honest. This is a game I ain't touching. But here's the game I will touch, and everyone's going to hate me for this. The Vikings, -1.5, taking on the one and only New York Football Giants. Over-under is 41.5. We're going with the Giants. We are absolutely going with the Giants. God, I hate this. Giants are bad. Okay, I'm not saying this team is good, but when we are talking about covering a spread here, and it is 1.5, so technically it's closer to winning. But I want you guys to hear me out. Sam Darnold is the worst QB. He is the worst QB of all time against the spread ever. Let me look up this stat. Let's see if I can find this stat again. But I read somewhere that he's the worst QB against the spread of all time. Number against the spread. So think about it. Why would I ever put my money on some guy who is the worst QB of all time against the spread? All right. So you have that. I can't find it right now, but I'll see if I can pull it up eventually. If I can't find it, I'll post it on my socials. Go follow those. Think about this. Giants defensive line is a big problem. Yeah, again, you have Dexter Lawrence. You have oh god, the guy from the Panthers. I'm forgetting his name every time. You have Kayvon Thibodeau as well. So this 3-headed monster at D-line. Again, can their secondary actually cover somebody? That's the big question. If they can cover somebody for 3.5 seconds, like 3 seconds, I think this D-line will wreck this team. And again, I know the Vikings O-line is a good unit, but if the Giants can just get to Sam Darnold and make him uncomfortable, because again, Sam Darnold sucks, let's be real. You have no Hawkinson. Jordan Addison is suspended, so it is Justin Jefferson and who? And again, this is the same problem with the Cowboys. It's CD and who? Dak, CD, and who? So that being said, if this Vikings offensive line doesn't hold up against the Giants defensive line, which again is a problem, then I think that we're going to have some major issues. So I am going with Giants +1.5. Put it in the books. Next we have Panthers at Saints. This is the Trash Can Bowl. This game will not be touching my TV at all because there are other games on that I think are way better. Panthers +3.5. Over/under is 41.5. All I have in my notes is run. And I have Kamara sucks, PPR king. Very true. I don't know what Bryce Young is. I think this New Orleans team is bad, and this is unbettable because there's a whole lot of trash, and I'm not touching this. So we're just gonna not waste everyone's time, and we're just gonna go to the next game, which I absolutely love, and that's Cardinals +6.5 at Bills. Over/under is let me check 47.5. With that being said, Cardinals plus 6.5. I love this game. And I was working. I saw the line on ESPN, like on the TV, and 2 weeks ago, and I was drooling over this game. Bills lose their entire secondary, right? They have no offensive weapons. Sure, give Dalton Kincaid, there's a point for you. With that being said, their D line is good, but Arizona has been revamping their line. They added Evan Brown. They have Paris Johnson. They signed some other guy. If Kyler can get any sort of time, we're going to be good. I think Kyler's going to light the secondary up. He's back. He's focused. Call of Duty double XP weekends are no longer a thing for him. He destroyed his Xbox. I think with that being said, I think Marv is going to go crazy, and that's what I also have in here. I literally have in my notes, Kyler plus Marv heart emoji. I think he'll be like D-Hop. Again, D-Hop, when he got suspended in 2022, had 9 games where he played. He had 96 targets. I think it was 96 targets. He was on pace for 181 targets that year. So, Kyler will target the hell out of people. And he did that with Trey McBride last year when he came back. That's why he was, tight end 2 in fantasy football. So, with that being said, Marvin Harrison, anytime touchdown, plus 145. I like Marvin's over. I don't know exactly what it is, but I would take that over. Because, again, who's guarding him? Who's guarding Trey McBride? You could say a linebacker. So, and again, Von Miller's getting older. He's not even the first linebacker listed on the depth chart, which is obviously not good. I think he's 37 now, right? Off the Achilles. Did he get hurt last year? I forget. And I also like Kyler over 230.5 passing yards. If you want to bet his rushing yards, that's cool with me, but over 230.5 passing yards is really good. I believe that's a lot of value. I think the Cardinals are going to come in there and they're going to they're going to lay a bomb right at the 50-yard line and turn that place into a freaking Bakugan arena. I think they're going to destroy the Bills. If you wanted to decide to lean, I would lean over. This could easily become a war. But again, that's if Josh Allen does insane Josh Allen things. But I don't believe in that offense. I really don't. So that's the only reason I lean over is strictly because Josh Allen. I think Cardinals are going to score 30 points minimum. Moving on to the next game. Here's a game that I just kind of want to watch this game. And it's Raiders plus 3 at Chargers. Over under is 40.5. I would lean Raiders. Again, you have Antonio Pierce. They play hard for him. They like him. Yeah, Max Crosby on defense, who is a machine, right? And the Chargers lost all their offensive weapons. The guy from TCU, he sucks now. I don't like him at receiver. Ladd McConkey he's a rookie. Everyone chill out. Josh Palmer is their best, probably their best and most familiar receiver, right? And with that being said, new system. Harbaugh wants to run the ball. You want to run the ball with J.K. Dobbins. You want to make him a ball cow back because he's going to last about 2.5 games. Tears an ACL or an Achilles every year. And with that being said, I would lean Raiders. Again, Chargers defense is good, but they're getting older. So that's also a problem for them as well. I'd lean Raiders. Gardner Minshew is fine. He's good enough, right? Moving on. Broncos and Seattle plus 5.5. Over under is 41.5. I wrote in my notes, I said, nope. I ain't touching this. If I had to lean, I would lean Seattle because of this. Here's my reason. Good defense, right? I think good old line for Seattle. Here's my problem. Rookie quarterback going into Seattle. First game ever. I will never bet my money against that. I will never put my money on Bo Nix going into Seattle. That is just not fair for him, right? That's what I would do. Here's the game I love. And this is the game I want you to guess the line for this right now in your head. Dallas Cowboys at Cleveland Browns. What do you think the spread is right now? Who's favored? It's at Cleveland. Time's up. Cleveland is minus 2.5. Over under is 40.5. And I have 2 plays right here. You ready? We're betting Cleveland. I looked at this line. I said something's wrong. Why is Cleveland favored? Because the first thing I put is wrong team favored. But I don't understand that. Again, Dallas is a very public team. Again, imagine this. Imagine drunk Mike at your nearest bar getting hammered. He's 8 John Daly's in. He's looking at the Cowboys game. He's like, oh, Cowboys are Cowboys are underdogs against the Cleveland Browns. The over-under is only 40.5 points. Cowboys have a great offense, man. Like, these are the people that you're betting against, guys. So I think we're in pretty good territory. I don't want you to think about this, right? I originally looked at this line and I was like, that's messed up. But think about this. Browns at home, right? Elite defense. Browns probably have the best defense in the league. They historically good defense last year, right? Where's Dak's offense? Again, we talked about this. Dak seeding who? Zeke Elliott is your RB1. That's a problem. And here's the biggest one. You have a rookie center in QB, and you have a rookie center in Cooper Beebe, who I like, but he's gonna have to deal with that, right? Communication, all that stuff like that. You have a rookie left tackle going up against Myles Garrett. I do not like that in any circumstance with any team ever. And if Dak's going to be pressured all game and he only has one person to throw to and he's kind of covered by Denzel Ward, we're going to have problems. We are going to have major problems. And again, Deshaun kind of sucks too. You have no Chubb. You lose a couple offensive linemen. Amari Cooper, you have Jerry Jeudy too, which, again, I like Amari Cooper. I think Jerry Jeudy is a nice little addition. We'll change the scenery. You have Njoku. I don't know if Deshaun's good. And him with a bad offensive, mid-tier offensive line, I don't know what they're going to look like. The under sounds, again, and it's scary because you get beat 21-20, you lose. This game might be 17-14, 20-14, 20-17, because again, Dak's going to be pressured all game long. He's got two rookie offensive linemen against Myles, the historically best defense in the league last year. I will not take the Cowboys. I will take the Browns -2.5, and I'm going to play the under 40.5 because I want y'all to join me. Join me on the under. Join me on the Browns, guys. It's scary. I know. It's just you got to try. We are going to go into the promised land with Browns -2.5, and the under at 40.5. Next game is kind of an evaluation game. Commanders +3.5 going to Tampa. Over under is 42.5. All I wrote: rookie QB on the road versus Tampa. Vita Vea is a very scary man. He is built like an actual refrigerator. He is scary. Once again. Here's the problem. Jaden Daniels is going to be running for his life. That offensive line is so bad. I feel bad for him because he's going to be running all freaking game long. And I just cannot bet a rookie QB on the road with a bad offensive line, even if he's amazing. Okay, so I would lean Bucks here, but I'm not going to bet it. Kind of want to see what Jaden Daniels is. What can Terry McLaurin do? What can the other the 40,000-year-old players that are out of their prime do? And Zach Ertz, Austin Eckler, right? So we're going to move on from that game. I'm going to take my heart out of this game. I'm going to try to think with a straight mind. Rams, and it moved from 3.5 to 4.5 as I'm recording this. Rams +4.5 at the Detroit Lions. Over under is 52.5. They're expecting fireworks, boys. This is apparently going to be a shootout according to FanDuel. And here's what I put: Goff at home, elite offensive line. You have the best offensive line in football. I'm not trying to be a jerk. I'm not trying to be a Lions slap happy. We're drunk on the Honolulu Blue. We're wearing face masks. We're thugs. Whatever. No. We have the best offensive line in football, and you have Sam Laporta that help out the best offensive line in football, who's the top 3 tight end. Amon-Ra is he's Cooper Kupp. Rams have no Aaron Donald. They have no Aaron Donald, and even though he was not as good the last year, not having him is a big issue. And now, how will the Rams get pressure? If Jared Verse has got to turn into him, but I'm not going to expect that from a rookie player who's never played before in a primetime Sunday Night Football Carrie Underwood game. I don't know how Rams are getting pressure. Lions have 9 returning starters on offense and really 10 because Khalif Raymond was there last year. A lot of continuity. They're returning both coordinators. They revamped their secondary. Rams do have a very scary duo, Cooper Kupp and Puka. And they have, who was the last guy? Tutu Atwell, whatever. Van Jefferson. They have Kyron, but the thing is, Lions have the second best yards per carry, second lowest yards per carry for opposing teams in the NFL. They are a run-stopping defense. And now you add DJ Reader, who is questionable to play. But if I had to lean aside, I'd almost lean the Lions. But that's scary If it was 3.5, I'd lean Lions. If it's 4.5, I'd probably lean the Rams. Holy crap. Also, I hate Kelly Stafford and her not coming to Detroit because of mental health. Yeah, like boo hoo. I feel so bad for you that your husband was the former highest paid quarterback in league history. I feel so bad for you. Whatever. Last game of the card. Jets at Niners plus 4.5 for the Jets. Over under is 43.5. Return for Rodgers. Right here comes the American flags whipping. All that stuff like that. Cutscene, Achilles, snap by scissors. With that being said, I mean, that 49ers line is a year older. Trent Williams is still old, man. And that line is not that good. So, how is this Jets D-line, who is scary? Quinn Williams, how are they going to do against the 49ers? They're a defense on the ascent. You have Sauce Gardner. You have that guy, that linebacker that I cannot say his name because it's way too long. And that's kind of scary. 49ers, look, you have Ayuk back, you have Trent Williams back. Yay, life is good. But with a bad offensive line, it's kind of scary. So I would lean under here. I'm not going to touch those over-unders. I don't know what to do. I'm just being real with you. I would lean under 43.5. I don't know what Rodgers is. And that Jets defense is going to keep them in the game. So that's what I would do. Look at the card one more time. We have Chiefs, Rams under 47.5. Time taping it is 46.5. I would still play that. Atlanta minus 3.5. Atlanta in Pittsburgh under 42.5. Giants at home plus 1.5. Cardinals plus 6.5. Browns minus 2.5. And we're doing Browns under 40.5. And also the props that we're doing is Evan Ingram plus 5.5 recept over under. Sorry, excuse me. Let me restart that. Evan Ingram over 5.5 receptions. Marvin anytime touchdown for the Cardinals. And Kyler over 230.5 passing yards. So with that being said, please put on notifications so every time I post, you guys can see it. You guys can click on it. Be like, you can be like, oh, this is great. I want to keep listening to it. Or, oh, this video sucks. And just hop off it. Whatever. That's fine with me. Leave a 5-star review. Go to the Gmail. Do whatever you got to do with that. And with that being said, y'all have a good day. And I'll see you on Tuesday.